GAPS diet die-off, what nobody tells you. And I want to be direct about why I titled the video this way, because this genuinely is the part that most people in the wellness world gloss over. And it is the main reason so many people quit GAPS in the first few weeks. You start the protocol, you're feeling hopeful, you're making stock and soup and doing all the right things. And then somewhere around day 7 or day 10, you feel terrible. And your brain immediately goes to, something's wrong, this isn't working, I'm making myself sick. I know that moment, I've lived that moment, and I've coached hundreds of people through it. So today I'm going to give you the full honest picture of what die-off actually is, what it feels like, how to tell if what you're experiencing is healing or something that needs attention, and exactly what I do to support my body through it. And stay with me, because the last thing I'm going to share is something that I wish someone had told me way before I started. And it might just be what keeps you from quitting before you get to see the results. And before we get into this, if you are brand new to GAPS and gut health, and you want a simple, non-overwhelming starting point, you'll want to grab my free Gut Reset Jumpstart Guide. It's linked down in the description below this video. It's completely free, and it'll give you a great foundation before you go deeper into GAPS. And I want to give you some context right up front. Everything I'm sharing is from my personal experience and what I've observed as a certified GAPS coach. I'm not a medical doctor, and if you have concerns about what you're experiencing, please talk to your qualified practitioner or coach. What I can give you is the honest picture of someone who has actually been through it. Let's start with what die-off is at a foundational level. Because when you understand what's actually happening inside your gut, it completely changes how you feel about the experience. Die-off, also called Herxheimer reaction, is what happens when the opportunistic or pathogenic bacteria and other microbes in your gut start dying off as a result of the dietary changes you're making. When those microbes die, they release toxins all at once, and your body has to process and clear those toxins. While that's happening, you can feel worse. Think of your gut as an ecosystem that has been out of balance. These opportunistic and pathogenic microbes are always releasing their toxins at a low level while there is an imbalance of them and an overgrowth of them in your gut. Those certain microbes have established themselves there, and your body has tried its best to adapt around them. And as you know, having that imbalance leads to a whole host of unpleasant, uncomfortable, and even downright miserable symptoms. When you start GAPS, you're dramatically changing the food environment. The beneficial bacteria start coming in. New nutrients that strengthen the body start coming in. The opportunistic microbes lose their food supply, and they start to die. As they die, they release byproducts that your immune system responds to. Your detox pathways have to work harder during this time. It can be genuinely messy. Dr. Natasha, who created the GAPS protocol, describes this as the body finally getting the resources that it needs to begin house cleaning. And house cleaning is never clean while it's in progress. So the key understanding is this: die-off is not the diet making you sick. It's the diet working. And temporary is the word to hold on to here. This type of die-off is a phase, not a permanent state. And understanding that it's evidence of change rather than evidence of failure is the most important mental shift that you can make before you even start. Okay, so what does it actually look like in real life? Because I want to give you the honest version, not the polished version that's easy to say and hard to actually recognize and interpret when you're in it. Die-off symptoms can vary widely from person to person, but some common ones are headaches, increased fatigue, brain fog, new or temporary skin flares or breakouts, joint aches, mood changes, including irritability or low mood, digestive changes like looser stools or temporary constipation, and a general feeling of just being off. For me personally, die-off mostly showed up as fatigues and headaches. There were days in my early weeks on GAPS where I felt heavy in a way that was different from regular tiredness. And at different times, my skin actually got temporarily worse before it got better, which was at the time particularly hard to sit with while I was hoping so much for it to improve. In kids, die-off can show up in different ways, such as behavioral changes, extra emotional moments, or a temporary worsening of whatever symptoms brought them to GAPS. And this is one of the things that I see parents describe the most. Their child is seeming worse and they're wondering if they should stop. In my experience, this is die-off. And I want to be clear, I'm sharing observations and experiences, not medical advice. If you are concerned about what you or your child are experiencing, make sure to consult with your qualified medical professional. The most actionable thing that I can tell you right now is this. If die-off is hitting hard, the first thing to do is to pull way back on probiotic foods. Almost every intense die-off reaction that I've seen is triggered by adding probiotic foods too quickly. Slow it way down. Take them completely out for a bit if needed. Give your body time to catch up. And I want to know, are you currently going through die-off or have you ever experienced it before? Tell me in the comments what your experience was like. And if you're in it right now, I see you. Keep watching. The stuff that helps is coming. This next question is one that comes up more often than almost any other question. And I want to give you a real, thoughtful answer, even though it's not always a perfectly clean one. And before we get into that, if you are looking for a visual roadmap so that you can see exactly where you are on GAPS intro and what comes next, be sure to grab my free Calm and Confident guide to GAPS intro. It's linked down in the description below this video and it's completely free. So what is the question? It's how to distinguish between a die-off reaction and a food intolerance. So here's the framework that I use. Die-off reactions are temporary. They're manageable and they tend to improve when you slow way down on the protocol. They often come on after adding or increasing probiotic foods. They can also come from adding or increasing very nutrient-dense foods as well. They feel like a general worsening of existing symptoms plus extra fatigue and perhaps headaches. They follow the 2 steps forward, 1 step back pattern that Dr. Natasha describes. An intolerance or a reaction that needs more attention might look like severe or worsening digestive pain. Symptoms that are dramatically worse over weeks rather than days. And anything that feels genuinely alarming rather than just hard. Here's what I always say. If something feels genuinely alarming rather than just hard, take it seriously. There is a difference in the quality of the experience between something that is challenging and something that is wrong. Trust your instincts. Our bodies are so wise and the feedback is there when we learn how to listen to it. If you're unsure, slow the protocol way down and consult with a qualified GAPS practitioner or coach. So just know that die-off is manageable. The goal with GAPS is to keep everything gentle and slow and gradual so that it's not miserable and that there is not too much die-off. It can be tricky to find that amount because everybody's different and the amounts that are needed to reach that place can be surprisingly small. Getting support while you're on GAPS is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of wisdom, and it's often the difference between succeeding and quitting. Okay, now let's talk about what you can actually do, because I don't want to just leave you with the understanding of what's happening without giving you the tools to help yourself through it. These are practical GAPS-aligned strategies for reducing die-off intensity and supporting your body's detox pathways. Number 1, and I cannot say this enough, is slow down your probiotic foods. Also, your very super nutrient dense foods, like even meat stock, egg yolks, extra animal fat, those can actually bring on a lot of die-off as well. But oftentimes, especially in the very beginning, those fermented foods are the biggest culprit. Slow them way down. Go back to the last amount that you tolerated well and stay there for a while. Sometimes it may even mean taking the fermented foods completely out, giving your body time to catch up, and then adding them back in at much smaller amounts. Do not rush the increase. It's not worth it. We don't want to be miserable. We want to enjoy our time on GAPS and feel progress and improvement, not feel miserable. Number 2, Epsom salt baths. Soaking in magnesium sulfate really helps your body process the die-off toxins, clear them out of your system, and it really helps relieve a lot of the fatigue and achiness. I took more Epsom salt baths in my years on GAPS than I can count, and they helped so much. Number 3, if this is something that you know you can do, focus on eating sulfur-rich vegetables. Well-cooked cauliflower and broccoli can help support your body's detox pathways because they're working hard during die-off. Number 4, rest more than you think you need to. Your body is doing real significant work during die-off. Treat yourself the way you'd treat someone with a cold or flu. Early bedtime, a nap during the day, less demands, more gentleness. These things are not indulgent. It's appropriate and important. Number 5, stay well hydrated. Meat stock is a great way to do this in amounts that work for you right now. It contains the collagen and those amino acids that your body uses during the rebuilding process. It also contains lots of minerals and electrolytes in a really usable form from good mineral salt when you make the meat stock. But staying hydrated with minerals is really helpful. All of these supports are simple, low cost, and completely compatible with the GAPS protocol. You don't need anything fancy or expensive to get through this. You need patience, Epsom salts, and minerals. And someone to tell you you're going to be okay. And here it is, the thing I saved for last, the thing I'd go back and tell my 2011 self if I could, because I genuinely believe it could have changed my experience at the very beginning. The first few weeks are the hardest part of GAPS, and they are not representative of what the rest of the journey feels like. There were times early on when I felt like quitting. I felt worse than I expected I would. I was tired and second guessing what I was doing, and I didn't have anyone around me who understood what I was going through. What I know now, having been through it myself and coached hundreds of people through it, is this. The vast majority of people who quit GAPS in those first few weeks quit because of the die-off. And this is the heartbreaking thing. The vast majority of those people never get to find out what was waiting for them on the other side. The families who keep pushing through, who slow way down so that it's gentle, who take the baths, who rest, who get the minerals, who get it to a place where it feels fine and they can stay in it and keep staying in it a bit longer. They're the ones who write to me months later about the migraines that disappeared, the eczema that cleared up, the child who started speaking. Die-off is not the whole story. It's just the hardest beginning chapter. And knowing that in advance changes how you experience it. You are not alone in this. And if you've quit GAPS in the past because of die-off, it's not because you failed, it's because nobody told you what you were in for and what to do about it. Now you know, and now you can go in prepared. That's the honest die-off conversation. What it is, what it feels like, how to tell healing from something that needs attention, what to do to get through it well, and why those first few weeks are the hardest, but not the whole story. So if you are in die-off right now and you're struggling, slow down your probiotic foods. You might even take them completely out for a little bit, give your body time, and then add them back in at much smaller amounts. Take an Epsom salt bath tonight. Drink your meat stock or even some filtered water with mineral salt added to it and rest. Get those minerals in. Give your body the time and space that it needs. It's working hard. You're in the hardest part right now. The other side of this is real, and I cannot emphasize this enough. It is so worth it. I am a completely different person today than I was before I did the GAPS protocol, and I am forever grateful for that. My wish is that more people could experience this. And if you're new to this and you want a step-by-step guide to start getting started with gut healing today in a simple, non-overwhelming way, remember to grab my free Gut Reset Jumpstart Guide linked in the description below this video, along with my free Calm and Confident Guide to GAPS Intro. It includes that visual roadmap of where you are on intro and what comes next. Both of those are free and they're linked below this video. Now that you know about navigating die-off on gaps, you might be wondering what to eat each week to avoid inflammation. But how do you do that? It all starts by watching this video here next, because when you pair what you're about to learn here with what you just learned in this video, it's so much more powerful. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped. Leave me a comment and let me know where you're at in your gut healing journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.